Today I will be doing fluid changes for my rear differential, front differential, and transfer case, all of which I do already have tutorial videos for. I will link that down in the video description below, and I will go ahead and post a link to my Avoid the Stealership series up here where you can see those and many more types of videos. So specific links for those right down here, playlist link right above.
You can tell by the way I walk, I'm a Tacoma man.
Yep, we're about to get sloppy. Welcome back to the Tacomaholic channel, everybody. Yes, doing a little bit of maintenance today. Just crossed 50,000 miles, and I will be changing all the fluids in my truck, which, for second gens at least, Toyota recommends you do every 30,000 miles. I sort of do mine at 25,000 just to get a little bit of jump, because I always think a little earlier is better than a little late. So while I do have specific videos for all three of those, I am going over a specific mod or accessory you can add for your transfer case oil change if you are a 4x4, of course, just to make sure everything within there is in proper mechanical order. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and swap out all the fluids. Now the rear diff is clear, but before I do the transfer case and front diff, I've got a few skid plates to remove. So the plan is to start all these fluid changes here in the back with the rear diff, and wouldn't you know it, ran into a snag right off the bat. Got my light shining on, you can see the drain plug, and it looks like I took quite a ding over here on the left side. Sun's poking in there from the right, trying to blind you guys. So you can see the metal right here is a little distorted, and I had a small piece actually pushing in, so I couldn't get my bit on the drain plug to actually loosen it up. So I just took a small chisel like this and sort of edged around it and smoothed that out so I could get the bit in there, and it is coming loose now, thankfully. So I guess a rear differential skid is in order for the future.
I love the smell of gear oil in the morning. Smells like victory.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Tackling the front diff next, and I just wanted to give you a quick amateur tip. Both the drain plug right here and the fill plug right up there use a 10mm hex bit to loosen up. This would be extremely easy to strip, especially if you've been off-road like I have and you have gunk built up in there. So make sure to get a pick or something and get all the crud out of the actual opening. But then I found it best to actually get a firm perch so you don't actually round out the hex part. Just take your 10mm hex bit like I have, it's not attached to my socket wrench, and just tap it in there until it won't go any farther with your hammer.
Just tap it in. Just tap it in. Give it a little tappy.
Obviously don't beat the hell out of it, just enough to get it in there firmly seated so you can pop these loose without worrying about stripping those off. Again, just my amateur tip. Okay, transfer case change coming up next with the special little mod accessory I'm going to share with you guys in just a minute, but while I'm under here, I do run full skids under here, and it looks like this piece right here is just some little flimsy Toyota skid plate for the transfer case, so I am going to go ahead and remove this. Looks like just a few 12mm bolts holding that on. I was considering removing this too, but it looks like this is actually some kind of heat shield, and even though I do have my exhaust rerouted, you can see obviously it's still right over here, so I will leave that piece for now. And here is the heart of this video today. You can see I'm draining my transfer case right now. Here are the fill and drain plug. They are both identical. And you will notice there is no magnetic covering on the bottom to pick up any metal shavings that you might get, which is completely different from both the front and rear differential, which does on the drain plug have a magnetic attachment that grabs all those shavings, so you can, whenever you're changing it, you can obviously clean off the plug, but more importantly, during the intervals in between changes, it grabs those fillings and keeps them from, I guess, creating more fillings with that metal on metal contact. So what I will be replacing the drain plug on my transfer case today with is a new one from Trail Toys. I will of course put a link down in the description below, and you can see, voila, a magnetic transfer case drain plug. And it even comes with the washer, so we'll be good to go. Get this buttoned up, and super excited about this, just to make sure that transfer case is just as healthy as your front and rear diff. Plus, this is just a few bucks, so why wouldn't you put this on your Tacoma?
Just do it!
The new drain plug does use a 19mm socket, so I'm going to get that torqued down versus the old size, which was 24, but the torque spec is the same at 27 foot-pounds. Alright everybody, that will do it for this maintenance video, and I am glad because even though all three of these aren't really that difficult, it's still tiring work. However, I will sleep like a baby tonight, knowing that I saved probably about $300 that I would have spent taking my truck to the dealership. As always, if this is your first time stopping by, please consider subscribing. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next video.